Yep, still behind the camera. Still got a lot of catching up to do. And yes, also still have the Astrid War Wound. Sorry, everybody. But today we're taking a look at Legacy Arcee because I guess a lot of people don't like this figure, and I'm weird because I absolutely love it. Make of that what you will. Now, I should point out, my Legacy Arcee does have the Reprolabels set, so that is coloring my opinion here a little bit. No semi-pun intended. I actually did like this figure a lot before getting the Reprolabels set. The only thing that really bugged me about this figure after getting it and not applying the Reprolabels was the robot mode head. And I'll talk more about that when we get to robot mode, but aside from that, I think the motorcycle mode looks great. I think the robot mode, aside from the head, looks really good. And that transformation is fascinating. I love the transformation on this thing. It's so weird. But with the Reprolabels, you get some added detail as well. There is some stuff which we'll see more of when we get to robot mode, but then we've got these little venting stickers on the sides, these little gear things on the sides here, these stickers back here that kind of, at least color-wise, extend the black to make this look a little bit more like a potential seat section. Yes, it is messy. I will not deny that, but I think it kind of helps to bring stuff out a little bit. And well, it's going to be hard to show it off, but there are actually little stickers that go into the dials in the, behind the windshield there, windscreen, whatever. Hard to see right now, but they are there. And also there are stickers for the side mirrors, which is cool. And I'm pretty sure... Are these stickers? No, I don't think these were stickers, but these were stickers. These little gold bits for turn signals on the side mirrors. Those were also stickers. So yeah, there is some stuff that the Reprolabels add. Oh, and the metal along the muffler pipe has also been added. And of course, the plethora of silver on the rims, including the silver kind of around the axle, spoke, whatever section here. So you got the silver bits going along here, but then you also have this little ring of silver that's meant to evoke what we see here. And you get that on both sides of the rear wheel and also the front wheel. And yeah, those little silver stickers were a pain in the butt. There were so many of them, but I did it, and I think it looks great. And yeah, that's Legacy Arcee's motorcycle mode. It looks the part. It is a little bit messy at the top, but like I said, I don't really mind that. I think this is a pretty darn decent motorcycle mode. Now, let's pull out a bit and do some readjusting so we can do some proper size comparisons. And of course, here is Legacy Arcee, and yeah, it's relatively deluxe size. I think that works. Also, I think it's kind of fun that if you look at just the overall sizes, Amiibo Samus looks like she would actually maybe a little small riding Legacy Arcee, but I think it could work. For a more, let's recenter this, for a more current look at another Arcee for comparison, here she is with the Studio Series 86 version of Arcee. And Legacy Arcee's vehicle mode looks bigger. I mean, she is thinner in terms of, width, obviously, but I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. Two very different looks for Arcee. I hope to get to this one eventually. And here she is with her, I feel like it's not unfair to say objectively superior figure. I mean, I love this figure for what it is, but First Edition Arcee is something else. Now, this is not an official First Edition Arcee. This is the, I think it's APC Toys that did the knockoff. And this is not the original one they did that had a metallic finish. This is the comic colors version. So this one has the colors and deco more in line with the original toy. And I like this look better, and also it was easier for me to get. So yeah, I have this. And it's First Edition Arcee with some added paint, really. That's about all there is to it. But if you want to see, that is how the two of them compare. And I don't know, I like Arcee as a blue motorcycle. And I mean, scale is always kind of out the window when it comes to motorcycle transformers, right? Okay, Now let us transform Legacy Arcee. I love this transformation, it's so weird. So to start, going to unpeg these bits from the sides, and they peg in two places and are weirdly difficult to get pegged in. I don't know why, I just always have trouble lining them up. Oh, also want to push up the kickstand, but unpeg these. There's a tab here that pegs in here, and then a tab here that pegs in kind of there, or settles in at least. So fold that back. Now comes the really interesting part. I want to split this back wheel, which can be a little tricky. There we go. So unpeg it, move that out a little bit, and now this whole side of the motorcycle will swing out, straighten out, and we'll just kind of leave it like that for now. And again, pull this out, straighten out, and there we go. Now, wheel will fold up, and then this little bit will fold up, and then this strut will unpeg from here, and this will swing around, and it will, it's hard to see, but basically it settles in here. So the entire strut just kind of clips in. It clips in kind of up the top here. This little bit kind of goes over there. So put that in, and there's that. And now on this side, same deal. Fold that up, fold that a little bit out, and then angle that around and put it in. Next, want to split the seat section and bring these out. We'll deal with those a bit more in a minute. Now, swing this entire bit up, rotate it around 180 degrees and bring it down, and then it will actually click into place. So push it in until it clicks. And now this bit here will flip up and around. And there we've got most of the robot mode done. Now for what are obviously the arms, these will push up and actually click in. So push them up and click them in, straighten them out, and then push these little gauntlet sections back. And there we're more or less completely finished. We just have to do the backpack. So going to rotate it around this hinge, push this hinge down and into the back, and push this down, and this will, this kind of cylinder looking thing will click into this little gap up here. So click that down, and there we go. And if you want, you can rotate the wheel or keep it straight or whatever, but there we have what is basically Legacy Arcee in robot mode. And let's readjust now. And yeah, this is, again, I think this is great. This is definitely not what a lot of us wanted when they said they were doing Legacy, or when they said they were doing Prime in Legacy. Yeah, this is definitely a departure from Prime Arcee. Like, some of the right notes are hit here, but it is a departure. That doesn't bother me too much. Like, Bulkhead was also a departure. I feel like this is okay for what it is, but that head definitely needed to be different. But anyway, here we've got all the junk along the back, and it's kind of like, yeah, there's an entire motorcycle on her back and wheels hanging off of her legs, but like, is it that much different? Is it really that much different? Yes, with first edition Prime Arcee, the front section of the motorcycle ends up swinging around, so there's a little bit more transformation there, but you still get the wheel on the back and the wheels on the legs. They're just, you know, slightly different. It's not that different, really. Anyway, yeah, this I think looks great. I actually really do like this iteration of Arcee. It could have been better. I absolutely would have loved it if it looked more like she looked on the show rather than being kind of Arcee-ish in Prime Arcee colors. But for what it is, I think it's neat. Also, I originally got this figure with the intention of customizing it into Energon Arcee colors. There's actually a really cool custom on TFW. I'll try to link to it up there so you can see what I'm talking about. But this figure works incredibly well in Energon Arcee colors. I really kind of hope that we do like a Generation Selects repaint of that. We probably won't because we got Flame War, but I can dream. Anyway, the reason I didn't go through with that customization is because I got the Reprolabels, and the Reprolabels actually do set this figure off really nicely. I mean, it looks good on its own, I really like it, but with the Reprolabels you get these nice shiny blue stickers along the ankles and along the thighs and some bits on the torso. You get some added, these like metallic-y pink stickers are added to the cuffs. I mean, there is paint there, but this just kind of changes the shape and the design a little bit to match more with the what's going on down in the legs. And you get some other nice little added details, like the added bit of black there, and then you get some nice kind of metallic, mechanical-looking stickers for the midsection rather than it just being straight silver. And then you also get more of those dark gunmetal-y, kind of metallic-y stickers for the center of the torso and along the sides here. And it looks really good. I like these stickers a lot. I am tempted to go in and paint these vents. I do wish we got vent stickers, but it's fine. And also the head. The thing about Legacy Arcee's head is, like, the shape is there, but it's still wrong. I've got a cat on my lap now. You can probably even see a bit of the reflection in the side view mirrors. Legacy Arcee's head is just wrong. It's not stylized enough. It's way too round. It's way too normal looking, for lack of a better term. This just kind of looks like an average robot wearing an Arcee cosplay helmet. And I don't mean that to disparage cosplayers. I just mean this feels more like some other robot is dressed up as Arcee, wearing a costume. I think it looks good for what it is. It just really doesn't strike me as Arcee that much. Though I will say, my opinion on the figure as a whole and that head sculpt has changed significantly since adding the Reprolabels. And it's silly because the Reprolabels don't really do much, but you get this red gem thing that you add to the center crest and also some stickers for the eyes. And for some reason, that just sets off the head to me. I really can't explain why. It just really helps to make it easier for me to look at that and go, yeah, that's cool. I can put that with Arcee. Now, as for the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you get some side-to-side tilt, a lot of up and some down, and of course you can rotate side to side. The arms can go out to just about 90 and can do a full 360. You get a bicep swivel, you get 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and then you also get wrist rotation, which is cool. Now, despite the way that this waist section comes together, you actually do get a waist swivel. It's not significant. It kind of just stops at a certain point. You don't get that much. But the fact that you get a waist swivel at all with this is really cool. And also it gives you what could generously be called an ab crunch. And then for the legs, they can go forward that far and back, back a lot. They can go out, not quite 90, and for some reason they don't want to stay out. I don't really know why that is. They're not particularly loose. They just don't want to stay out for some reason. You do get a thigh swivel that is impeded somewhat just because of the fact that the swivel itself is built inside of the thigh armor, so that will knock into things. You get a pretty okay 90-degree bend at the knee, and then if you disconnect that, you can do that. And then at the feet, you can move the toes in and out if you really want, and you also get ankle tilts. So not bad in terms of posability. But there is a little bit more that we can do with Legacy Arcee that I actually like quite a bit. So we're going to talk about this section here. And you can do a lot with this backpack, but personally, I'm fine with leaving that alone and just messing around with this. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the backpack, it is fine. You can pull it out and rearrange it how you want. You can rotate it back around if you'd rather have it up like this for any reason. You can flare these bits out to make like wings, which isn't terrible. Personally, I like to flare it out but leave it in like this orientation and pushed back up against the back because that will just kind of add some visual interest to the silhouette. I'm going to leave it out for now because of this, which we'll get to in a second, but before we do, I just want to pop this off and show you the Those are the little dial stickers that you get with the Reprolabels set. And while I've got this here, let me just show you. There are these blue bits. Those are 2 separate stickers, one for down here and then one for the top, that go on the inside to add a little bit more detail to this when it's in robot mode. And you also get options for these lower stickers, I believe, that include Autobot symbols if you want to do that. I left those stickers off and went with just the plain blue colored ones because she's got an Autobot logo right there, so I figured why bother. Yes, hi honey. Now this is the drone thing, and I think it's silly as a drone, but you can pop the tire off and split it open, and now you've got a little drone, I guess. But I prefer to put it back here. There's this peg hole here that peg will peg into, and I've got a cat on my lap again, and that pegs in there, and then just push that up, and oh, here we go. And that is my preferred way to display Legacy Arcee. I just think that looks really cool. I really like the backpack of wheels. That just looks neat to me. And it cleans up the backpack a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's all kibble. It's technically kibble, but I do think this looks really cool. And those pain-in-the-butt stickers, the silver ones that go around the edges of the wheel, these are... Every single one of these things is a separate sticker, by the way. But I think those look really cool. It really makes the wheels over her shoulders pop. So yeah, this is how I prefer to display Legacy Arcee on the shelf. And I think this is pretty cool. It is absolutely not right for Prime Arcee. There are a lot of things that it does wrong, but I don't find myself caring all that much because it's just a cool figure, and Arcee's looked kind of different throughout the years anyway, so it's not that big of a change, really. It's just another version of Arcee. I mean, look at it this way. We've got G1 Arcee. We know what that design is like. That's been Arcee for a very long time. Why did nobody kick up a huge stink when they did, like, Titan's Return Arcee? Or Energon Arcee. Maybe people did for Energon Arcee, I don't know. But like, Titan's Return Arcee evokes the G1 design, but is still very different. This evokes the Prime design, but is very different. Why is this a problem? This isn't even G1 Arcee's design to begin with, so who cares if it's different? Why does it bother us so much that they did it with Prime Arcee? Is it because everyone loves Prime Arcee as a character? Is it because the first edition figure is so freaking awesome and we just wanted that again? I don't know. I mean, I'm the same too. When I first saw the photos for this thing, I was extremely disappointed. But it's really grown on me over time, and I feel like the hate that it gets just isn't fair, because it is a good-looking robot figure. If you can separate the idea of, oh, this is doing weird things with Prime Arcee's design, it's a cool-looking robot, especially with the Reprolabels. Those look great. And that transformation is bonkers. I love it. I love how the arms and legs basically switch positions across the robot torso. It's almost as weird as Nitro Zeus's transformation. It's so strange, and I really love it for that. Anyway, before we jump into comparisons, I just want to talk about the accessories real quick. She does have 2 Energon accessories. They're like these little blade things. They look terrible, and they combine to make one big blade thing that looks terrible. And yeah, they're in a box, and I don't feel like getting them out right now. But they very, very poorly evoke the arm blades that she had in Transformers Prime. And when you combine them, they can kind of work as a buckler, but the problem I have with that is the peg hole on the arm is so high up, it doesn't quite look right if you try to use it as a buckler. So I just throw them in the box, because I feel like this is fine. This is neat enough as it is. And I've got a bunch of leftover Siege Astro train guns. If I really wanted to, I could give her one of those. Okay, now let's talk sizes. Let's just a little bit more. So yeah, she is a little bit shorter than the average deluxe, but I wouldn't say movie-verse short. And let's go back in a little bit and readjust. Okay. And I mean, compared to another kind of contemporary deluxe Arcee, she's a little bit shorter, but not by much. And I don't know, I just think, like, as much as I appreciate the G1 Arcee look, and there are definitely some amazing G1 Arcee figures out there, I think this looks cooler not even looking at it from a character perspective, just looking at it from an aesthetic perspective, I think this looks cool. The design. I mean, the figures, everyone's got issues with this. I think this figure is actually really cool, but, you know, just in terms of robot design, this is cooler to me. That being said, let's readjust this just a little bit more. Yeah, that being said, Prime First Edition Arcee still wins it. This figure is, I mean, again, this is not the official figure, this is the KO of the official figure. There we go. This is the KO of the official figure. It's not the official figure, so like some of the paint is different, some of the sculpting is a little different. Like I think these little flared out bits on the wrists are different, and I think the head sculpt is a bit different. That is a really good Prime Arcee head sculpt though. That looks fantastic. Yes, I've said I really like this robot design, and I still think this looks really cool, but I will admit, this is better in every conceivable way, except possibly articulation. But this is fantastic, and yeah, if any of you can track down a first edition Prime Arcee, or particularly the APC Toys knockoff in Comic Colors version, Comic Colors of first edition Prime Arcee, I highly recommend it because this figure is just so freaking cool. Look at it. Look at it. It's amazing. It looks so good. And also a lot taller than Legacy Arcee. Now, I don't know if this is because the knockoff is slightly upsized or not. I don't think it is. I think it's a 1-to-1 scale anyway, reproduction of the original figure. But anyway, that's how they look together. And I feel like I just keep going on and on about this, but, you know, I guess I just feel like this figure needs defending because it's nowhere near as bad as everyone seems to think it is. And again, I will admit, I have Reprolabels on it, and that has enhanced my thought of this figure somewhat, but it is still really cool. And I think that's enough rambling, so that is going to do it for Legacy Arcee. And as I've said many times, this is actually a pretty cool figure. I really like this configuration. I don't care about the parts forming at all because it's not really that involved, and you don't even have to do it if you don't want to, but I think it leaves you with a really cool looking silhouette. Which, yes, is meant for Road Rocket, but I don't care. It's my toy, I can do what I want with it. And fan moding is a thing that a lot of people do, and I just think this looks really cool. The Reprolabels add some nice detail, like the silver on the insides of the wheels here, just to mix things up a little bit more, and I already talked about the stuff that's going on here, and I just really love how the chromy, metallic-y, reflective stickers set off those wheels. But yeah, this is just a neat figure, and I do believe that the Reprolabels are, I don't want to say necessary, because I don't think they are necessary. I like this figure before I put them on, but oh boy, did they really set things off when I put them on here. So yeah, I would definitely, honestly, I would recommend getting Legacy Arcee, or at least a version of the mold. I do think it's really neat. Maybe get Flame War if you want to get that. But anyway, that is enough of my rambling and desperately trying to defend a toy that some people hate and some people actually do like. What do you all think of Legacy Arcee? And what do you think of Legacy Arcee with the Reprolabels? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and remember, art is more than meets the eye.